Freak out, freak out, freak out. Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun is here. It's 48 pages of full-color glossy action for kids between the ages of 8 and 80. And just like the Macho Man's career, it can only get bigger and better with your support. Yeah, this campaign starts at 48 pages, but Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun gets larger with more great fans like you backing. That's right, it takes you to make this comic book's page count grow until it's unstoppable. All the way to 80 pages of glow-in-the-dark vampiric insanity. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, did you hear that? And don't forget, there are surprises around every corner of this campaign, like trading cards, magnets, posters, and more. And for those of you who help make Megawatt vs. the Vampires of the Sun a raging success by sharing this campaign with your friends, there are even more special treats waiting for you when the campaign closes. I'm talking about ultra-rare blank sketch covers for free and a whole lot more. And don't you worry, Mom and Dad. This is a spooky book safe for kids, but with a story that'll keep you guessing what happens next too. It's Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun, Book 1, awaiting your approval on Indiegogo. Snap into that website. Oh yeah, dig it!
Welcome back to Crypto Comics, all you beautiful people in Webtown. I am very excited to share this review with you today because this review is very near and dear to my heart. It is about the best indie comics I picked up in the 1990s. It's about the best indie comic studio of the 1990s, and that is Goblin Studios, the makers of Goblin Comics. And this is a company in my hometown of Vancouver, Washington, right across the bridge from Portland, Oregon. And this company just started out very simple, just doing black and white comics for the love of it. They had a comic book shop over on the east side of Vancouver called Goblin Comics, and they just slowly expanded. And they were great. They were great. They started with this 5-issue Goblin Studios release. They're just black and white comics, very simple. And then they expanded out from there to do Goblin Lord. This was a 6-issue miniseries they did. Had a pretty cool science fiction, supernatural bend to it. These were in color. But perhaps my favorite was Joe Psycho and Moo Frog. Undoubtedly my favorite. I first got turned on to Goblin Studios from the Joe Psycho and Moo Frog Halloween special, which I spent $10 to get back in the day, which was quite a bit of money for a comic book, let alone for an independent comic book, man. And it was so original and so funny and had me laughing so much that I became an instant fan. And I would drive to Goblin Comics every month just to check and see if another issue had come out. And they finally did. They finally released issue number 1. It all took place in the town of Spleen, Oregon, which is a fictional place, obviously. This is Joe Psycho, and this is Moo Frog. And there were 8 of these Joe Psycho and Moo Frog comics total, including the Halloween special and a full-color extravagarbanzo that they did. These were all in black and white, and they were just silly, silly fun, and I loved them. This is actually a rare one. This is issue number 4. Issue number 4, this cover was done by the regular artist, whereas this cover was done in 1997 by a young man named Ethan Van Sciver. This is the San Diego Comic-Con special edition version. And this was very, very early in Ethan's career when he was still living in Portland. And one of those rare things that I'm guessing no Ethan Van Sciver fans even know about is this cover he drew for Goblin Studios, Joe Psycho and Moo Frog. Issue number 4. You can still get this. It's still out there. Go see if you can track it down, huh? Perhaps the rarest comic book in my collection is this guy right here. This is the Joe Psycho and Moo Frog Digital Psychosis comic book. This is the online edition. This, however, I have never seen available anywhere. This is the exact same comic book. It has a different cover. I showed up at Goblin Comics shop on the day that this came in from the printer, and they were sending it back because the printing was defective on the inside. I'm not even going to open it up and show you. There are little black specks all over every page. They're not noticeable to the average reader, but to the guy who paid to have the books printed, they were definitely noticed. And so they sent it back to the printer to be reprinted. And when it returned, it had this whole new cover, the Digital Psychosis online edition from joepsycho.com. But while I was at the comic book shop that day when this came in, I just wanted a Joe Psycho comic book. And so I said, well, can I just buy a copy? And the guy behind the counter said, sure. So from all of the searching I have done on eBay over the years, this, I believe, is the only version of this comic book in existence. Doesn't mean it's worth anything, but it's worth something to me. I've never seen it for sale anywhere else. I've never seen a picture of it anywhere else. So this might be it. One of a kind. Truly a one-of-a-kind comic book. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I myself have now gotten into the comic book business after writing a feature film, after being a camera operator on feature films. I was ready to make my own feature films, and I quickly discovered that the best way to do that is to make a comic book of your screenplay. And so that's what I'm doing at megawattcomic.com with my book, Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun. And this is one of those books that has inspired me in my journey as a creator, because these guys worked their butts off, and you can see that they were new publisher of the year according to Diamond Distribution, which that's no small feat to become that. These are guys that worked their tails off to try to achieve their dreams. And there were actually a few very short computer animated Joe Psycho and Moo Frog cartoons, very short. I'm talking, a minute or two. This was in the days when the internet could barely even handle streaming video. And I think those are actually available on the creator's YouTube page. If you go search for Joe Psycho and Moo Frog, you might find them. So what we're going to talk about here today on Crypto Comics is one issue of Joe Psycho and Moo Frog I want to share. And it's this. It's the full color Extravagarbanzo. This is a reprinting of previous material, but it's been completely colored. And I thought it'd be awesome to check it out. It's the first time, it's the only time Joe Psycho and Moo Frog were seen in color. And I think it's great to share it with you. This comic book was painstakingly created, written, and drawn by Jason Raines. The colors were done by Michael Montaigne, and some assists by Little Joe Fleming. Here we see Joe Psycho dressed up as Ghost Rider. Blood has been spilt. The innocent must be punished. Hello. Welcome to the Joe Psycho and Moo Frog full color special. Joe wanted to call it something weird, but the management here at Goblin Entertainment was very adamant about keeping the title simple. We've got a really great show planned for you, with all kinds of special surprises and guest appearances, hilarious new skits, and a bunch of typical stupidity. Joe wanted to be here to welcome you to the special event, but unfortunately, he had something backstage he had to do. Before we start the show, the law department at Goblin Entertainment has asked me to make the following statement. The opinions expressed in this artistic piece of lawsuit you call a comic are not necessarily the opinions of Goblin Entertainment Incorporated. If you are offended by anything you see in the following stories, please, just deal with it. We really don't need you calling our offices and harassing us for something stupid and minuscule, like political correctness. Thank you. With that said and out of the way, let's get on with the show. The Joe Psycho... See Joe's back here. And he's got, something wild going on. He opens the curtains. The Joe Psycho and Moo Frog full color Extravagarbanzo. Rise, rodents, rise. Piddle paddle, piddle paddle, piddle paddle, piddle paddle, piddle paddle, piddle paddle. Snap. Bloop. Hey, Moo Frog. My paddle fell into the toilet. Happy fishing, Joe. Gosh, bud, I'd love to help you, but my delicate skin is sensitive to toilet water. Yeah, I'll show you sensitive skin when I dunk your head in the friggin' bowl. What's this? What's this little creature here? Uh-oh. Watch out, Joe. Whoa! Hey, it's got me! Hey, let go of my arm, Joe! Help me, Froggo! Burp. Ah! Spoot. Ugh! What is this stuff? Mud? Joe, we just got flushed down a toilet. What do you think it is? Oh, yuck! Chill out, man. Take a whiff. Does it smell like poop? Moo Frog, we don't have noses. Ah! Wow, this is weird. I wonder where we are. Who cares? We're lost, our clothes are wet, and we smell. Wherever we are, things can't get any worse. Or can they? Hey, what's the big oof? Oh, yuck. Rats.
Not rats, surface dweller. Much, much worse. We are the Hamster Brigade, and you are prisoners of war.
This is not how I wanted to spend my weekend.
Oh, quit your whining. I didn't start this. Silence, surface dweller. Welcome, my friends. I am Queen Squeaky. I hope you have not been treated ill. Oh, heck no. We were already tied up when we came across you furry little fanatics.
Ha 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 ha. The humor of the surface dwellers. I see you are as rude as ever. Soon, however, you shall all learn respect when we take over your world. Now that we have you, all the pieces to my brilliant plan are complete. The Hamster Brigade shall rule supreme.
Bravo, Queen Squeaky Wheel. But you didn't count on one thing when you snagged us.
Oh no, Joe. God, I hate this.
Prepare to face the fury of Joe the Incredibly Powerful. Oh yeah, and the ever-pessimistic, somewhat pudgy Spotted Cow.
I really want to go home.
You know, being a world-famous, incredibly powerful superhero isn't always fun and games. Sometimes it just sucks.
That's a really big vacuum, Joe.
Come on, you fuzzy little belly-button limp balls. Bring it on.
Well, that's all of them, Joe. Now what are we going to do?
Oh, have I got a plan. Pets aplenty. 80, 100, 120, 140. Ho ho! Enjoy your victory, Joe. Enjoy it while you can. For soon, the Hamster Brigade will be coming for you.
The end? We don't know. We're going to find out. Let's keep going, though, shall we? Joe, what's wrong? You keep rubbing your eyeball.
Man, this eye has just been bugging all day. It's really starting to irk me.
Okay, Joe, we're almost to Mrs. Henderson's house. She's a huge contributor to the library. And my boss will be ticked off if he hears you were acting all spastic on her front porch.
What exactly do you mean by huge contributor?
That's exactly what I mean, butt munch. No patented Joe comments, or I'm going to have to stomp you. Hi there, Mrs. Henderson. I'm Moo Frog from the library. We were just in the area and thought we'd stop by and see how you are. Mr. Jenkins is always concerned about our little family. That's how he sees us all at the library, you know. Well, most of us anyways. But you know what they say. We all have to keep an eye out for each other. Pop. Unit 54, proceed to 1335 Z Street. There's a report of an elderly woman beating a small green, something, and a giant white lollipop with her cane. I think we all know who the lollipop is. Just don't bring him here. Well, Sullivan, welcome to the Spleen Police Department. Hope you survived the experience. Yingvi and Bob in Yingvi's Big Adventure. See, I just let you look at the pictures. I'm a picture book reader. Remember, folks, there's a reason why cockroaches would survive a nuclear holocaust.
And why flies only live 48 hours. Yeah, baby. 121 pounds of pure chrome roaring down the freeway at 23 miles per hour. Uh-oh. Oh, crap, no brakes. Oh, my God. Thump. This is mooey embarrassing.
You know, it's kind of odd that one of these covers was drawn by Ethan Van Sciver, because I'm pretty sure this could be him and this could be the war campaign. Just a thought. Jurassic Park. Get it? I get it. I love it. You know what? This comic, it just keeps going. It doesn't quit. It's just fun. It's silly. It's not too subversive. It has some poopy humor in it and whatever. But it's just fun, silly, good times. Good times.
Hey. Wow. A full-color Joe Psycho Moo Frog comic. I never thought this would happen. Me and the frog are so used to the whole black and white thing, I think we done gone and fainted. Okay, we're all right now. Go forth, my little fanatics. Read of what you say in the full-color letterness.
Yeah. There we go. Joe Psycho and Moo Frog. The tripped out, funkadelic, spasmiisting cartoon show. All new animated mayhem with the whole gang from Spleen and their exciting full-color cartoon adventures. Check out the Goblin booth at Wizard World 98, baby. Cutting-edge, state-of-the-art 3D and traditional animation. Coming to goblinstudios.com in the spring of 98. Man, this is old school. This is taking me back. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Man, it's really fun. Got Joe? Get a brand new Joe Psycho strip in full color every week at mania.com or goblinstudios.com. So these guys were, going places. They were definitely going places. Let's read about, oh my gosh, Matt's Cavalcade in Corvallis, Oregon. I wonder if Matt's Cavalcade still exists. I hope it does. Goblin Entertainment turns 2 years old. That's right, just 2 years. And this is going to be a good example for all of you young independent creators out there. This is what a lot of hustle will get you. Unfortunately, sometimes some things aren't meant to last. And that's the case with Goblin Studios. This is one of the last books they put out. That's right, just 2 years ago, we were anticipating the 96 San Diego Con and the release of our first creation to the world, that Psycho we call Joe. We've made it no secret we want to entertain you guys and girls, and we couldn't really give a shit about anything else. We are, after all, entertainers. It's what we do. We don't accept submissions. We don't pursue creators to publish their books with us. We're proud to be considered an award-winning publisher, but we feel that was achieved by being a consistent performer. We've never thought of ourselves as only comic publishers, although at times we've got a little caught up in the game and the hype. Well, no more. From this point on, we will do everything in our power to bring our creation, Joe Psycho and Moo Frog, and its supporting cast, to the eyes of the pop culture world. Whether that be as a comic book, online strip, snowboard, t-shirt, online animation, or network animation. I want to point out that on-line, back in the day, on-line. We have every intention of succeeding. We no longer accept the limitations forced on young companies in this industry. We no longer accept demeaning labels such as small press or alternative. Alternative to what? As long as there's a market for Joe Psycho and Moo Frog in comic book form, we'll continue to produce it. We're also producing animation for the web. It's some cutting-edge stuff, and we're looking at unveiling it at Wizard World Chicago this year. We are naming 1998 the year of the Psycho. Goblin Entertainment's sole focus is on Joe Psycho and Moo Frog and exposing it to the masses by whatever means necessary. I hope the comic industry's media chooses to embrace our efforts and report on them. We will be keeping the media informed. Hopefully, they do the same for you. If you're a fan of Joe Psycho and Moo Frog, then in 1998, your world will become a better place. We love this character. He's been a part of us since the beginning. Goblin Entertainment is going to get busy doing what we do best. Entertain. That's the main thing that keeps us sane. Come with us into 1998, the year Joe Psycho ate the world. On the Wizard Fan Awards thing, stuff the ballots wherever you think they should be stuffed. Troy Couch, CEO, Goblin Entertainment Incorporated. So here you see all of their comic books. I own all of these, every single one of them. Except for this guy right here, the Peacekeeper preview. I don't have that. Oh, I wish I had these shirts. I wish I had a 20 of these shirts. We want you, the Goblin Army, 1st Division, Screamin' Comic Renegades. So this is a great example of a man named Jason Raines who hustled every day to make comic books for fans. Not just here in the Pacific Northwest, but throughout the world. He was not afraid to fly to Chicago. He was not afraid to drive down to San Diego, to try to sell his books. And that's what you're going to need to do if you want to be a creative entity in independent comic books. It takes a lot of hustle, and it takes a lot of drive and a lot of desire to achieve your goals. And maybe you can. And maybe it won't last. And maybe, who knows, maybe 25 years later, Joe Psycho will make a comeback. And we'll get to see more of all this awesome Goblin Entertainment stuff. You never know what the future holds. But despite that, you can at least plan and prepare as best as you can to make an impact. Yeah, you might not change the industry. But you know what? You can make a dent. That's what I'm trying to do with Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun, now available on Indiegogo. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. megawattcomic.com. And as always, thanks for watching Crypto Comics, your most ridiculous source for reviews of the best and worst comics of the 1990s and beyond.